The National Association of Nigerian Students is calling for an end to the Academic Staff Union of University strike and a probe of all public officials who have obtained the 100 million naira APC presidential nomination and expression of interest forms. The students made this demand during a protest to the National Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress in Abuja. The student body says Nigerians could not be spending so much for political primaries while students are at home as a result of ASU strike.
We can't be having people doffing out money for political primaries while ASU is at home, while our students are at home, and the money put together, the money that this people have generated, the various parties have generated, so far, is even enough to start solving the ASU problem. We want EFCC. If truly they are working there, if truly they are living up to the aim of their establishment, they should investigate everybody who has picked up presidential form and then bring those who are fraudulent to book. As a ruling party, they are in charge of the government. They should be able to call the persons in the various positions for them to look into the issue of ASU and then resolve the strike that has lasted for 3 months. And if I resolve it finally, let it be a record that this administration, the administration of President Muhammad Buhari, will keep, that the ASU issue he inherited, and he was able to provide an everlasting solution to it.
Well, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics say they are embarking on 2 weeks warning strike from the 16th of May this year. The president of the association, Anderson Eziebe, says this action will be taken due to the federal government's refusal to fulfill its promises as agreed by both governments and the union. It is urging the government to meet up to its obligation within the 2 weeks warning strike to avoid an indefinite shutdown of the sector.
The status of the items in dispute as at today is captured as follows. 1. Non-release of the approved revitalization fund for the sector. Of course, as we all know, and as has been reported previously, the sum of 15 billion naira was approved by Mr. President in June 2021. And as we speak, 11 months after this approval by Mr. President, this amount has not been released to the sector. 2. Non-release of arrears of the new minimum wage owed our members. The old 10 months arrears for the polytechnics is yet to be released. The composite amount covering all federal tertiary institutions to the approximate figure of 19 billion naira currently exists as an AIE. What I mean by an AIE is an authority to incur expenditure in the Accountant General's office. By implication, this particular item has also not been satisfied.
To discuss this and more, we are now being joined by President of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics himself, Anderson Eziebe. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And 2 days ago, May 9th to be precise, there was a meeting with the government. Were you part of that meeting?
No, we were not part of that meeting.
How come?
Well, we didn't believe that that particular meeting was structured to address our grievance. We were invited, all right, but it was a joint invitation with other unions, and for us, we didn't feel that this, the meeting met the basic requirements for collective bargaining, because you cannot bring several unions, pursuing different interests to come and discuss, together. And so we felt that the meeting wasn't structured to meet, our desires, and so we communicated appropriately to them that we are not going to make ourselves available for that meeting.
And after that meeting held, I'm sure you are aware of whatever outcome of that meeting. No aspect of the meeting still met, your expectations. Is that what you're saying? And Asup is calling on this strike just a day after ASU extended its 3-month strike. Are we saying that tertiary education in Nigeria officially is dead? Are you not inadvertently contributing to that fact?
Well, To start with, we don't know the outcome of that meeting. We are still expecting the Federal Ministry of Education to invite us to have our own engagements based on, the submissions we have made on the issues in dispute. That's for one. Secondly, on whether we are contributing to the death of tertiary education in Nigeria, I think it's actually to the contrary. The struggle is actually for the survival of tertiary education, public tertiary education in Nigeria. Because in as much as our colleagues in the universities have also embarked or have been on strike, they've been on strike on their own terms. We are just about to declare, or we have just declared a 2-week warning strike on our own terms as well, based on our own convictions. The struggle is about the survival of public tertiary education in Nigeria. At the primary level, it's dead. At the secondary level, it's also dead. As you know, private institutions are dominating such landscape as we speak, and very well beyond the reach of poor Nigerians. And so, for us, public tertiary education can only survive if the government is called to provide what is needed to make it functional and to make it serve its purpose to the Nigerian state.
Okay. I mean, it is true that a worker should earn his wages and the reward should begin here on earth for teachers and not in heaven.
Not in heaven.
But when you look at least some of your demands, your list is bordering on funds, and more funds. Which would you say is critical among this your long list that would take you back to the negotiating table and ultimately the lecture, the classroom, the lecture rooms? And when you say you did not attend this meeting, some will wonder, I mean, is this a clash of egos between the lecturers and the government? It's still, mind-boggling that the children are sitting at home. You had an opportunity to attend a meeting, but you didn't go because it was a meeting of joint unions.
Well, the reality is that, like I said, we don't believe in jamborees. Those meetings are convened with public resources. And if the meetings are not structured to address the issues in contention, then there's no need for the meetings. And the truth is that we actually communicated them ahead of time that, look, the structure of this meeting will not satisfy its objectives. Why don't you organize these meetings the proper way that meetings, engagements of this nature are organized, and the way it has been organized, in the past. Unfortunately, they insisted on going ahead, with the meetings, the way they have, already designed it. Yeah. And like I said, we are not going to be complicit in wasting public funds when we are, when at our level we are asking, for the funds to be injected, into the system. Now, on the issue of, the system proper, the items that have financial implications are just two.
Which ones?
The issue of revitalization fund for the sector, which is 15 billion, and the release of minimum wage arrears owed our members for more than 2 years now, which is less than 5 billion. As a matter of fact, that is for the Nigerian Polytechnic lecturers. Is less than 5 billion. Now, on the revitalization fund, this is not monies that will enter the pockets of the lecturers. No, it is meant to provide infrastructure, laboratory, equipment, equipment for studios, workshops and all, to enable us teach the students better. Right. That's what it is for. And this promise has been on the table since 2017. You can imagine what inflation has done to the money now.
Right. So we'll get back to the table.
You'll be exactly.
Well, we are not actually looking forward to getting back to the table. We are talking about implementing what has already been agreed on the table. Remember that this is the outcome of of our last engagement. We were on strike last month, last year. So we signed an agreement. We suspended the action for 3 months, effective June 10, 2021. The suspension period of 3 months expired September 10, 2021. Our union still stayed on, expecting the government to fulfill its own part, of the bargain.
So if the strike fails, what next? In 30 seconds, if you can. Because the strikes don't seem to be a potent tool anymore. What next? Well,
I don't believe that that the strikes are not potent, because the little gains we had in the last one came because there was a strike. So I don't think that what we have just done is to draw their attention. This is like a protest.
Okay.
And we are protesting. We are saying that if this does not happen, then you are forcing us to get into an indefinite action.
Anderson Ezibe, President, Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, joining us on Newsnight tonight. Thank you so much.